Straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser. Straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser. You can come and tell your story, you can get it off your chest. Positive love and vibe with celebrity guests. From the big to the small, we can laugh and joke, or get straight to the point and blow it out like smoke. It don't matter to me, it's all love in here. Celebrating success and making people aware that it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And if you up in here with me, then you right and exact. Cause it's straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser. Straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser. Hey, what's going on? It's the one and only ManDeleon, the Al Capone of the microphone, and welcome to ManDeleon, Straight with No Chaser. Today, my special guest has been in several movies, from acting to a stunt coordinator. He's been a celebrity bodyguard. You know, he's been a road manager, and he's been recognized by President Obama and several congressional leaders as a humanitarian. He's also been featured in Black Belt magazine, and today he's here on ManDeleon Straight with No Chaser. Please give a warm welcome to my friend, my man, Mr. Lamar Burno. What's going on with you, Lamar?
Hey man, what's going on, brother? I'm humbled, man. I appreciate the intro.
No problem, man. All of those things I meant, man. This my man right here. Like I said, he done a little bit of everything. In movies and you know, and even in music, whether if you believe it or not, you know, my man know a little bit of everything, everybody, and you know, maybe a little bit of everything too. You don't know. You got to find out. But what's going on? What's going on?
Man, look, I'm great to be in this year 2023. First of all, you know, I give honor to God, and you know, it's a blessing for you to just contact me to be on your show, man. I'm humbled and I'm very appreciative.
Thank you for that, because you know I've been knowing you for some years now, man, and you know I wanted to start the new year out right, and I was just like, man, I know a lot of people, and especially somebody like you, man, you definitely got a story to tell, and with all the things that you have done, and compared to what you're going to do, I'm excited for you, man. I truly am. You know, as a friend, I'm excited for you, knowing that all the great things that you got going on, but.
Oh man!
For those who don't know you, you know, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I started off in the industry with my brother Kenny. He was a part of a group called Unique Attractions, and Unique Attractions is who you know today as Boys to Men. He took this young fella under his wing named Wanye Mars, and Wanye, you know, moving in with us, went to a lot of church events and funerals with us. And when his career started, my mom said, "You going places, Wanye, you're going to go places." And he was very humble. And because we were so close, you know, growing up, he said, "When I get famous, I'm gonna hire you." And he kept his word. I was able to do work for Boys to Men, as you see the plaque behind me. And now they're one of the elite in the industry. That's the music part of it. But LaDiva Davis, rest her soul, she passed last year. She was very instrumental in getting me a lot of my acting and modeling jobs. You know, so it ranged from Fighting Back, that was done in Philadelphia, that was a little cameo, and it went to assistant Rome as stunt coordinator in The Last Dragon, and things came on, and then I was doing the next thing, Condition Red, and so forth and so on. You know, so it just never stopped.
And just real quick, because I don't want you to kind of pass over that you had some really interesting people in your life that really helped you on. And I know you mentioned Ladiva Davis. She just recently passed, like in November. Is that correct?
Yes, Ladiva Davis was one of the best dancers.
She's like a Philly legend, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Ladiva Davis, you couldn't. She had her first thing was What's Cooking with Ladiva. You know, one of the first black television shows in Philadelphia that went syndicated around the world. So Ladiva Davis, she was a beast. I mean, you would have parties at her home, and you would see Billy D. Williams. You would see big television casters. You would see just big people in the industry who could make decisions.
Right.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I remember seeing Harvey Weinstein there one time.
Hey, yeah. If they was big in the industry and they was doing something, you know. Oh, hey, and then like you said, because like I know, like you said, like in the beginning, like she was the one that helped you kind of get the movie roles, or kind of took you along, and because you actually credited for like over 40-something movie credits of cinema, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely. Well, see, back in that time in the 80s, it was all in who you knew. I never went to acting school, never went to modeling school, never done any of that. It was all in who you know. Aunt D would say, you know, I call her Diva Aunt D. She would say, Lamar, I need you to come here right now. Mike Lemon is here casting for this movie. I need you to be a part of it. Aunt D, where is it? I'm on my way. I get there. Mike, this is my nephew. Bam. All right, come on. I need you to do this. And that's how I was. You know, today is much different. You have to have acting school. They want to know your background. There's no more of who you know. You know,
you're a part of SAG and all of that too, right?
I'm sorry?
Because you was like, because you were saying it's not like it used to be, so it's kind of, now you got to actually have some credentials.
Right. And I was blessed to be a part of, you know, the Screen Actors Guild at a young age, and then, you know, be part of AFTRA, you know, the unions, because that's where you got your big money, being part of those unions.
Wow. So like I said, you had a couple instrumental people in your life. So the other one was Romeo. So tell me about him.
Oh man, Sifu Rome one, he taught me the martial arts. He taught me. I was learning karate under Madison Nelson, and I kept that hunger because, you know, back in the day we had kung fu flicks on every Saturday. That's what they showed. Kung fu fighting. Bruce Lee was my idol. So you know how it is. And back in the day, my father, because he was a black belt in judo, he said, I'm going to put you in the art. And he, you know, me and my brothers, he put us in the art. And we learned Taekwondo, karate, but I had a thirst and a hunger that was still, you know, for the martial arts that I wasn't getting out of Taekwondo. So my brother Kenny introduced me to Sifu Rome, my Hung Gar Kung Fu instructor, and learning under him for many years, I reached my black sash, and you know that hunger was being fulfilled. So utilizing what I've learned from Madison Nelson and Sifu Rome, and Graper was my ninjutsu instructor that I met later, Neil Graper, and I encompassed all of that. And now I'm about to open my own school this year called the Shaolin Experience. And I picked Shaolin because it's the southernmost part of Kung Fu where you have the monks and you have the true training of your foundation. And I'm going to infuse some of my Taekwondo, some of my gymnastics, and some of my ninjutsu, all in that. That's why I say the Shaolin Experience, because I'm going to deal with not only the 5 main animals, your tiger, dragon, leopard, snake, and crane, but I'm going to introduce more animals into my system.
Mm. You know that's like for somebody like when you that grew up on like the movies and stuff like we did that, because like on Sunday, I remember on Sunday like like the little what the call like when the show like the Kung Fu Theater would come on like on Sunday. Oh my God. So I remember that. And then like and even my next door neighbor, like he was one of them dudes that ordered everything out that book. You know what I mean? He had the shoes. And we was making moves out of broomsticks and the whole thing. So yeah.
See, each generation has their own thing that keeps them captivated to the television. Right. We had Black Theater. Yeah. And my daughter's generation, they had the Teletubbies and Barney.
Right.
And this generation is the that shark. That shark thing.
Yeah, right. Shark. Yeah. Right. So, my grandbabies. Right.
Right. Everybody had their own thing that kept them captivated to the television. But in our generation, thanks to my mother and my grandma, we had women who had backbones. They don't make women like they had, like our moms and our grandmoms. They just don't have it no more. If there are any out there, it's very few and far between. They always put in us that you can be the next president. You can do this. You can do this. They never say can't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and that's where that strength comes from. Definitely. Back then that was something. But you were saying, you coming with the like the Shaolin Experience and all of that. Like, so how soon is that coming about?
Well, I anticipate that being this June.
Okay, so that's right around the way.
Right around the corner, brother. Right around the corner. And once I get my main school started, I have some brothers and sisters that I trained with under Sifu Rome that now are going to train under me, and I'm going to help them open their own schools under the umbrella of the Shaolin Experience. So we can, we can teach this generation on, if they get angry, how to not jump off of buildings and not kill themselves, but at the same time protect themselves while they're out in the streets, because everybody want to revert to the guns and the knives. You don't need that. Back in our day, we had fists. We either got beat or we beat, and the next day we were playing basketball again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and our generation is just about growing up being somebody.
Exactly. And it's like, what you gonna do when you run out of ammo?
Right. Right.
Like, I mean, even myself, like, I don't have nowhere near the training that you have, anything that you have. But I mean, to my credit, I was a Marine. But and what I'm saying is, when you run out of ammo, that's why we had a bayonet. You need to know hand-to-hand combat. You need to know what you need to be able to do some things.
Absolutely.
When that's not available.
Right.
So
no harm on the Marines. We all make a mistake in life. It's all good. But just
I was in the Army, so I'm gonna let that slide. I understand the envy. I understand the envy.
No, man, but respect. I appreciate you, and I thank you for your patriotism. But yeah, I was in the Army for 7 years. I had my military police, and I had my infantry in the Army. But I did my time and got out, and I realized that, because of my foundation that my parents and grandparents laid for me, I can be what I want to be and continue to be successful in everything that I do.
It's just so interesting to me, like all these years, like you're still, like when it comes to, like you're still focused, like when it comes to the martial arts and but how you bring it, like how that has that one thing And you know, and I'm saying this because I know like so many people have like so many different talents that they you can do this, you can do that, but the way you use this one avenue that has created everything else. So like you got the school, you're a bodyguard, you know, for these people, and then just because of this one skill. And that's not one skill. I don't mean like you're different facets. I mean, because hold on, because I want to stop real because there's something you said earlier. Because before I get too far, you said for your Shaolin experience, right? You said that you have, not just the 5 animals. You're introducing other animals, like because everybody know the crane, just the tiger, the monkey, the snake, all that, right? So, what are some of these other animals that you're going to introduce?
Well, one of the animals is the monkey, and I'm going to introduce the toad. See, everyone looks at a toad to be slow and just not focused, but the toad is one of the most focused animals, or I should say, animals in the world. A snake can't just attack a toad. He has to go around about a way in doing that. And another animal I'm going to introduce, you may have heard of it, but I'm going to introduce the Shaolin Temple has the tiger crane, but I'm going to introduce the way that the lion and leopard move. They move in such a way that you never see a tiger and a lion in the same place. One is the king of the beast, and the other is the king of the jungle. You got to be able to introduce each animal at their noted times. Look at you smile.
Gonna have like a king. So you got a king and a king style.
There you go.
Like for real, right? The king of the beast and the king of the jungle, like that. A king. That's. Okay.
See, if you're going to do it, I want you to do it in such a supremacy way that once you strike your opponent, he know never to come back.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's why I had to ask. I was like, what kind of animal is he talking about? Like, what I mean? That's really, that's something because I ain't never thought about it like that. Like, because you know what you know, and not only that, you just know what you're being showed. Right. So if it's not out there, because a lot of times people ain't going to dig for stuff, not unless it's, but for something like that, like, so right. I know that's definitely, going to be an experience. But like I was saying earlier too, just with this one skill, you have been, it have took you other places. So being that, okay, you got military experience, and then in that, you was, so, you got already all these years of being a bodyguard for celebrity musical groups. You already have the skill of, I know you said you was doing some stunt coordinating in some of these movies from that one skill. And then now, tell me about what it was like working for some of these people that's so-called mobsters in a lighter way of saying it. I was trying to think of an elegant way to say it.
You knew about it because you were at my birthday parties and you saw some of these guys, and I was hired as an office manager at a chiropractic center in Philadelphia on Washington Avenue. Mm-hmm. And one day, I was there for 2 years, and this one day, payroll didn't come, and everybody was waiting on payroll. So I called the lead doctor who was out of town. He said, well, Lamar, call Michelangelo, and he gave me the number. So I called Michelangelo, not knowing who he was.
He just said, "Hey, your name." Like, hey, call this guy.
Michelangelo, he was the big boss. He was the owner of the chiropractic center. I did not know that. So I told him, I said, hi, Mr. Angelo, this is Lamar Burno. I'm the office manager, and payroll hasn't gotten here yet. I was wondering, is it a delay or is it coming today? He said, what? I sent payroll 8 o'clock this morning. I said, well, it hasn't come yet. He said, I'm going to give you a number. Ask for Tony. So I said, okay, all right. I called Tony. I said, how you doing, Tony? My name is Lamar Burno. Michelangelo told me to give you a call because payroll hasn't gotten here yet. He said, well, Mike gave me the money and I sent payroll 8 o'clock this morning. It's not there? I said, no, sir. He said, I'll call you right back. So he called the guy who was supposed to bring them the money, and the guy called me. So he said, hi, Master Lamar. I said, this is Lamar speaking. He said, yeah, this is Papio. You all ain't getting paid today. I said, excuse me? I said, well, Michelangelo and Tony said that they sent payroll this morning and it ain't here. He said, I'm in Atlantic City with my girl. Y'all not getting paid today. You get paid double next week. I said, no. I said, no. We got bills to pay. I said, okay. He hung up on me. So I called Michelangelo. I said, Mike, this guy named Papio called me and said, we're not getting paid today. He's in Atlantic City. He said, what? I said, yes, sir. He said, don't worry about it. He'll show up. So long and short of it, Michael Papio showed up. He was this big Italian dude, slick black hair. And he had a pinky ring on. And he said, yeah, where's the office manager? I said, I'm right here. He said, yeah. I said, y'all not getting paid today. So the neighbor knew Papio because her dad was in that world. And she said, hey, Mikey. So they kissed each other on the both cheeks. And I said, Gina, you know him? She said, yeah, this is Papio. I said, well, he just told us that we ain't getting paid today. She said, I don't have anything to do with that. And I said, look, we getting paid. I don't care how it's going.
Hold on, she won't worry about her check?
Well, she didn't work with us. She owned the building next door.
Oh, she was next door. So she was like, all right, I ain't my business. Okay. Yeah.
To come by.
Right. Okay.
So, no, we getting paid today. I don't know where you coming from, but we getting paid today. He said, what you going to do? Get your posse? I said, posse? What do you mean posse? I said, I'll tell you what. Let me and you go in one of these big rooms and handle our decision. And if I come out, we all getting paid. And if you win, we have it your way. He said, what? And he said, I tell you what. We don't have to go in the room. We can do this right here. Well, I got my employees right there. I said, now I don't want to show off in front of my employees, but
you said show off?
Yeah, I said, I don't want to show off in front of my employees, but I said, are you sure you want to do this? He said, yeah, because you ain't getting paid. When he said I wasn't getting paid, that hit a nerve. Before I knew it, I jumped up, kicked him around his neck, and had him on the ground. I said, Gina, get Michelangelo on the phone right now. She knew Mike.
Right.
So he said, let me go. I said, I ain't letting you go at all. I said, get Michelangelo on the phone and put him on speakerphone. So she got him on speakerphone. She said, oh my God, Mike, Lamar's going to kill Papio. I said, no, I ain't going to kill him. I said, I just want my money. So long story, Michelangelo wired the money to Western Union. One of my workers wrote down the control number, and I told them, I said, look, y'all go head out, go to your cars, and meet me at Pathmark, because that was one of the markets that we knew that would do Western Union. And when they got out, I secured them. I said, look, when I let you up, you better just get out of here, or I'm going to hurt you really bad. So I let him go and rolled out, and I was in my ready position, and he was coughing, and he went outside. When he went out, I locked up and went out the back door. When I got in my car, we went to Pathmark, got our money. The very next morning, Michelangelo called me and said, hey, I need you to come to South City Grill in New Jersey today. It's very important. I said, okay, what time? He said, be here 1 o'clock. Well, I never knew who this guy was. I just talked to him one time. So because I knew who the name and who he's affiliated with, I said, okay, I'll call some of my boys. I said, look here, I'm supposed to be at South City Grill today at 1 o'clock, but I need y'all to follow me just in case if something go down. I got some resources. They said, look, Lamar, come on, it's no problem. They followed me to South City Grill. Once I got in there, the gentleman at the door said, can I have your name? I said, yes, I'm here to meet Michelangelo. I have a 1 o'clock appointment. He said, sure. He went through the restaurant. He said, follow me. Went through the restaurant, and in the back door, it's a huge room, like a ballroom. It's this long table with 4 sets of lobsters, oysters, shrimp. They're on a carousel. And all these Italians are sitting down. I'm the only colored guy in this room, right? So when I get in there, this guy says to Mr. Angelo, he said, this is Lamar. And Michelangelo stood and said, Lamar, what's up, baby? So he greeted me. He kissed me on both my cheeks and said, hey, everybody, this is Lamar. Everybody started walking up to me, kissed me on both sides of my cheek. And that's when I met Michael Graziano. That's when I met John Gotti. That's when I met Salvatore Avina. All these are big mob dudes that I never, ever, I heard about, but I never met. So now I'm sitting at the table with these guys, and Michelangelo gave me an envelope and said, this is for you. I want you to work for me. I said, okay. Well, us as brothers, we don't just open envelopes at tables. We put it up.
Right. Like, let me go check this.
We got to see what it is, right?
Right.
He said, have something to eat. Chow down. So I said, well, you have a bathroom where I could wash my hands? He said, yeah, go to the bathroom. And he showed me where the bathroom was, pointed to the direction. I went in the bathroom in the stall. I pulled the envelope out of my pocket. It was 10 grand. Like 10 grand. This man just said he wanted to work with me and just don't even know me and give me 10 grand. I made a phone call outside and say, hey, fellas, look, it's all good. This is just dinner. They wanted to meet with me, but I'll see you when I get back to Philly. Right? All right, look. And I'm like, oh my God, 10 grand? Back then, 10 grand was a lot. Cash.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, this man got this kind of paper. So I put it in my pocket and I said, okay. I ate with the people, and Salvatore Avina was sitting at the end. And I'm looking around, still I'm the only black guy at the table. And I see everybody, Gotti is at one end, Salvatore Avina, and you got a couple other big names. And he said, come here, Salvatore Avina. I said, how you doing, sir? He said, fine. He said, Tommy, move over. I want him sitting beside me. He did this great thing for Michelangelo. I need him sitting by me. And Michelangelo sat across from me. And to this day, I still have my pinky ring that he gave me. He said, you're a very honorable young man. And that was it, man. That was it. That was it. I was inducted in the family. So from that time, for the next 6 years, I was flying first class on private jets. This is the first time that I ever, went to a store in regular street clothes, went to a suit store. They told me to take my clothes off and build a suit around me. and I'm walking out in a suit with my clothes that I walked in the store in a bag.
Like
First
the
time
movies.
ever heard of,
like something out the movies, like for real. Like, hey, go get them something, and then they just
stood on this step stool. They measured me and made a suit while I was there, and gave me shoes. First time I ever heard of Bruno Magli. That wasn't a name that I never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that like once a week. And man, they had so much power. Things happen, they calling the governor direct. Never heard of stuff like that. So, but I always stayed humble and stayed in my own zone. You know, if they wanted me, I was there. If they needed me, I was there. But I always stayed in my own comfort zone because I was new to this. You know, and you know, thank God that I had that introduction with these gentlemen because it opened other doors for me.
Yeah, so like you said, you started working, you working for them and traveling and just as a bodyguard though, correct? Just hey, I'm here for whatever you need me for, right?
That's it.
Cause the muscle.
That's it.
Hey, and obviously because so for those who might be like, if it's a movie, they have to rewind it. You know what I'm saying? For those that's like that, like so basically dude was still in, and dude was, the dude that you end up roughing up. They was like, yeah, he took care of that little problem for me, so they was like, yeah, this clown over here still in and disrespectful, and my man, come on, hey, come here, have a seat with us. Hey,
That's exactly right.
I like this kid, that type of thing. And how old were you at that time? How old were you?
At that time, I was 22.
Wow.
22. Still skillful, man.
So
me about to be 50 in February. I think my craft got better.
So listen, let me, and I'm gonna say this in the most respectful way. And when I say this, no respect to the person that I'm about to speak of.
Okay.
Right? Because some people might get it twisted, because like just what you said, like you was like, hey, I'm at 50 and I feel like I'm nicer than I ever been. Right? Right?
Right.
So when I think of that, like some people they might be like, yeah, man, we used to watch Steven Seagal. Right? And we know, you get what I'm saying? As I said, I don't want to be disrespectful, because I know I don't know to what extent, I don't, but I know he still be out there doing stuff and whatever, but I don't think he one of them dudes that got better when he got 50, like you saying.
Nah.
Is that a fair assessment?
That is very fair. Now, Steven Seagal in his day,
that knows.
In Steven Seagal's day, he was great martial artist, and I give him much respect. The art that he learned was Aikido. Aikido is an art that makes the opponent use their force against themselves. There's a difference in the art that you learn. Karate works in a straight line. Okay, karate has a lot of kicks. Kung Fu works in a circle, okay? So that you can work and fight your opponents in a 360 degree fashion. The element that I'm going to put inside of that with the Shaolin Experience, when your opponent jump up at you, I want you to go up in the air and show your opponent what you can do. If your opponent go on the ground, I want you to get on the ground low and show your opponent how bad you are. But regular fighting, he ain't gonna want to do that. That's the element I'm bringing. You know what I mean?
So whatever he think he nice at, like, I'm gonna show you I'm nicer.
Absolutely. Point. Period.
Like, you want to take it to the end? We can take it there. You want to take it to the floor? I got it. And you know what? And when you said that, like, and I'm listening to you because I never knew any of these things that you're saying. But when you say it, it makes sense when I think about the styles, right? Like I don't know a lot, but you know, when you say like, even when you say what the style that Steven Seagal used, I'm like, yeah, because every movie about, and he tells you that's what it is, and you think about it, it's these guys, they come and he's like, you know, he tossing them, he's doing everything is this and that, and then like you said, the other one is a straight line. So Kung Fu is like, because my uncle used to grow up as you know, as a Kung Fu student, and he used to learn from a popular guy from where I grew up called Mr. D, and he had, you know, and he was known for, but and everything, he was always, you know, I ain't never really learned much from him because he was just on one. but I'm just saying it would be different. I mean, it was I understood because it was like you said, straight lines, because it was like like everything was that. And so then when you say the other one, it was like a circle. You know, it made me think of like, okay, like what Bruce, you know, you more or less doing what Bruce Lee was trying to do, was infuse these styles,
right.
different styles, which a lot of the, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the higher ups or the, you know, the old people of the day didn't like, because you know they wanted to keep their styles pure and not so much mix the styles, because you know some people that, if you was a purist of any sort, whether if it's music or anything, you feel like, okay, you mixing and matching, you know, you're taking away from the natural art form or whatever it is. Right. Sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Bruce Lee's foundation was Jeet Kune Do. Okay, that was his foundation, but Bruce Lee was still part of the Shaolin Temple. So Bruce Lee mastered all of these, and the final level was the Iron Palm. And Iron Palm was a very unique, because you were able to hit someone with a 3-inch punch or open palm, and your palm show up in the front and the back of their body. And how that happened is people and martial artists will understand what I'm about to say. It's not about the outer strength that you have; it's about the inner strength that you possess. You know what I mean? If you possess inner strength, and it's true inner strength, once you hit the person the first time, they're gonna run if they're able to.
And that sounds like your style, right? One of the styles that you were just talking about, right?
Absolutely.
So listen, because my mind be going. So no, but it's all tying in together. Trust me. So when you said the inner strength, and that, I automatically thought, oh, you got that glow. So speaking like of the talents that you had, like I said, you was also a stunt coordinator for one of the classic movies, The Last Dragon.
Yes.
Now listen. All I want to do, because I wanted to wait till I really talk to you about this movie. But all I wanted to do is wait till I had this conversation with you, and then really go watch the movie and be like, "That's him right there." That's him right there.
Yeah. So
tell me about that, because you know, for those, when I say you got that glow, if you know anything about the movie Bruce Leroy, you know, Show Enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all of those. So tell people about that.
Okay, well, Sifu Rome called me one day and said, "Number one." He never called me by my first name. He always called me number one. He said, "Number one, I want you to show up at the school. Me, you, and Ladiva have to go to New York." I said, "Okay." I said, "What time you want me there?" He said, "No, I want you to spend a night tonight so we can get up in the morning and go." I said, "Okay." So when I got down there, you know, I did a little workout and what have you. But the next morning, we go to New York, and it was on the movie set of The Last Dragon. And it was two people. A lot of people don't know this, but the show enough part, the guy who wore the shoulder pads, the red shoulder pads, it was two people who played him. One of the guys was probably about 2 feet taller, but the camera tricks, you didn't notice it. One of the show enoughs did the fight scenes, and one of the show enoughs did the speaking roles. Okay, you will never know it. I think the one who did the fight scenes, he passed away. But the long and short of it, when Eddie Arcadian, the gentleman who was offering all these people to beat Bruce Leroy, who was played by Taimak, during a lot of those scenes, Sifu Rome and myself had to go over the part so that Taimak would understand how to do it in action. Okay. Taimak wasn't a great martial artist. He was beginning his martial art career. He was more of a dancer. So me and Sifu Rome had to illustrate the moves, and he took those moves and made them in his own way. So when you looking at it in action, it would look very professional. And the quote unquote glow was to emphasize that he finally got and mastered his craft. And it was all about believing in himself and believing what he could do. He was always afraid of doing things. He was nervous, shy, afraid. But that whole glow thing was to illustrate, look, I finally believe in myself and I can do what my heart says I can do. Now, let me show myself that I'm able to possess this craft. And that's what the glow was all about.
Yeah.
So when the fight scene from Shonuff and Taimak or Bruce Leroy, when Shonuff was losing his electricity and Taimak was really gaining his electricity, it was showing Taimak that since if you can believe in yourself and do what you say you can do yourself,
you know, there's a lot of people that need to hear that. And there's a lot of people that didn't really get that from the movie. Like, you know, they didn't really realize that because they was just still looking at it like the glow, but it was really like something in it that he had to believe. Like, you know, that's why he had him going to see the what was it?
See the master.
Yeah, the master. I'm trying to think of the master's name. But that was all, you know, that was funny when he went there with the dudes and they was singing the song and stuff. But anyway, at the Cookie Factory. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. So I watch it like all the time, every now and then. So
that's a classic.
It's a classic. So I know the movie inside out. So everything you say, I'm just like, yeah. I really be wanting to interrupt, like, yeah, that one part, like. Hey, so y'all really choreographed, like, you know, and kind of gave him a style for the movie. Then is that correct?
Right. Not only Taimak, but Shonuff as well.
Okay. You
know, we were doing fight moves and fight scenes throughout the back and behind the scenes. Sifu Rome would tell me exactly. He said, "Okay, do a sweep kick, sweep and kick me so that they'll know how to do it."
Right.
And if you remember, when Sifu Rome, it was a fight scene where Eddie Arcadian was offering the money when they had Sifu Rome was the actual one fighting Shonuff when he did the sweep kick and kicked Sifu Rome and kick him in the groin. That scene was choreographed by me and Sifu Rome.
Okay. Like I say, like when I go back and watch it, I'm gonna look at the whole movie different now. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna just look at everything different. Like, okay, I obviously did that. Like,
and to add the credit, LaDiva Davis was right there in the scene with her makeup on and everything. Just, oh my God. You know, she was right there. During the fight scenes, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so let me ask you, did you get to meet Vanity?
Yes. Vanity was very humble. She was at this time, she was very spiritual and still gorgeous. My God, she was gorgeous. You know, God rest her soul. You know,
man. Yeah,
fine.
Oh,
back then
too.
A lot of fine sisters in this industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you speak on it.
Yes.
Your status is different than mine. I'm gonna let you speak on
it. Man.
Hey, I'm
blessed.
Definitely. But we were just because we're speaking about some of the movies and stuff that you was part of, you was actually a part of a series though. You actually had a reoccurring role back in the 90s on New York Undercover.
Yeah, man. I was Sergeant Cutfield, man. Sergeant Cutfield.
Like? Another one of my favorites, man.
Oh man. You talking about, oh my gosh, man. When I got the call from my agent, she said, Lamar, guess what? I said, what? She said, M2 loved your pictures and he wants you to be a part of New York Undercover. I said, what? The New York Undercover that's on TV? She said, yes. And you got to be there Friday. I said, just give me the address. and it was so surreal because when I got off the phone with my agent, her name was Lucy King. When I got off the phone with her and she told me, I dropped down on my knees and I started praying. I said, God, you are the true master of my life. I thank you. And I was just giving all glory to God and I was crying. And when I met M2, it was just like magic. He said, hey, I heard a lot about you. Lucy said that you're great. And here's the script. I said, well, what you want me to read? He said, no, you're Sergeant Cutfield. That's it. You are Sergeant Cutfield. I love your look. You're professional. I said, okay. He said, where did you park? I said, I just parked on the street. He said, do me a favor. I said, yes, sir. He said, pull your car right there because we want your car in the scene of this right here. Because Lords of the Underground was on that part. My first one, Lords of the Underground, was the musical artist on that show. Now, they always had a musical artist
at the end
perform at this club called Natalie's.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah, at the end of the show. Right.
Lords of the Underground was actually the first people that I met on that set. So I got paid for my car. I got paid for me. And every time they show anything with Sergeant Cutfield on it, I get a check. But
so
man,
what about now? They just brought it back. Like, they just brought it back. And like I said, I used to love the show back in the day. It was different. But I got mixed feelings now. Like, it's like growing up. Some stuff that you watch when you grew up, you be feeling funny. You be like, man, we used to watch this.
Yeah.
And not because of the show. It's just like, because people change and stuff change. You find out stuff about people. Like, it's just like, man.
Right.
They just look at stuff different. But, I still, but like you said, it was good. It was great TV for back then, right? It was really
right.
It was and then like you say, it was always the artist that you was always like, ooh, who's gonna be at Natalie's tonight? You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things because the 90s was different, man. The 90s was just the TV for us, and the 90s was like, when I say us, I mean black folk. It was just like it is like we had just came full circle from like shows from the 70s. It was like we had just came full circle. So at that time, so
man, it's something about the industry that every 10 to 15 years, Afro-Americans or black people, we are allowed to elevate ourselves. because of the quote unquote ghost of the industry try to keep us down. So big ups to Tyler Perry because of what he's doing, and he's breaking boundaries, but they somewhat still have a foot on black actors and actresses on what they can and cannot do.
Right. Like they trying to, right. Like, and
they can't control our own narratives.
Exactly. And speaking of controlling our own narratives, you got a new project. You got not only do you have the Shaolin Experience, but one of these people that you was a personal manager for, you're actually about to tell his life story. Tell my people about that.
Oh man, Frank Lucas Sr., man. Mr. Frank Lucas was not only a legend, but he was a man that you could learn from every day. And either he spoke something or he did something that you could learn and you would epitomize it. One of the things I was talking about when I had to move Frank in with me to live with me because he had some people that were around him that wasn't really taking care of him. They were stealing from him, and they wasn't really making sure his hygiene was up to date. And it's just that's all in the book. But Mr. Frank Lucas, I was introduced to him from Michelangelo, because Michelangelo had him and Michael Graziano were financially helping Mr. Lucas out. Okay. And because he came out with a book, Michael Graziano said, Lamar, we want you to do security for this man you may know called Frank Lucas. I said, no, I never heard of him. So I did my due diligence reading up about him. And when I found out he was a drug lord and so forth and so on, I called Michael Graziano. I said, sure, I'll do it. And when I got there, I had, two other guys with me, Cedric and Noble, I forgot his name, Kevin, I believe. But I had two guys working with me, and Splinter was my driver. And I got there, introduced myself, and he said, I heard a lot about you. I said, well, I'm here, sir. I'm here at your disposal. I'm here to make sure that this book signing goes well. He said, I hear you're the best at what you can do. I said, very humbly, I said, I'm here for you, sir. Whatever you need. Today's going to be a blessed day. And he had a lot of people come up, and Frank had pre-signed 35 books already. So a lady came by and she said, hi, Mr. Lucas, I want you, would love for you to sign my book. He looked at it, he said, all right, pick any of these books. I didn't sign them all. She said, no, I want you to sign mine personally. I just purchased it. He looked at me, he said, did she hear what I said, that I signed all these books? I said, but Mr. Lucas, this one that she just purchased is very personal to her, and she would like you to sign this one. Mm-hmm. He said, all right, boss man, since you said it that way, he signed it. And she took a picture with him. And, he said, I want you on my team for the rest of my life. I said, okay, well, what you want me to do? He said, right now, you're my bodyguard. Stand there and guard my body. I said, I got you, sir. So things moved forward, and Michael Graziano had some other business to handle. He said, Lamar, I will want to know if you would you mind managing Mr. Lucas? He said, you're well known in the industry and you have connections. I said, okay, yeah, I'll take that role. So he passed the baton to me to manage Mr. Frank Lucas, but I had my friend of long time, Mr. Damascene, and Damascene is one of the best managers I know in the industry. So I called Dom. I said, Dom, Well, I called Stephanie, his secretary, or his assistant, and I said, I need you to set up a meeting with me and Dom because I just have this new client, Mr. Frank Lucas, and she got me on the phone with Dom, and Dom said, okay, Lamar, let me do my due diligence on Mr. Lucas. And we set it up. He met Mr. Lucas, signed a contract, and the rest was history. So now, before Mr. Lucas passed away in 2019, Damascene and myself were working on a show called Blue Magic. Blue Magic is going to tell the story of Mr. Lucas from his childhood into how he became the American Gangster and life after the American Gangster. So it's going to tell his whole story. And Damascene and myself are the creators of this project.
Wow. So now that you done did all that, now you got the project. So how soon can we expect to see the Blue Magic, and where do we expect to see it at? Like, how can we,
Well, it's going to, right now, we have a lot of interest from a lot of major television, cable companies. But we should, by February, go into pre-production. Man, we have a lot of interest from Jamal Bryant to Gary Sturgis. A lot of people in the industry are very much interested and can't wait to be a part of Blue Magic. So we're going to, of course, I'll let you know when we start going to pre-production and casting. And, we would love for you for the ManDeleon show to be live on set.
Oh, man. Hey, say less. I'm there. I'll be there.
Yeah, man. Because this is the true story of Mr. Lucas.
Right. Oh, man. And being that you was, and you getting it from him, like you got it from him, you was like there with him, and that's I actually met you right around that time some years ago. I don't know if you was managing like right at that time, because I know you had the club that you was doing over there on Old National.
Right.
And then because I actually had you on one of my podcasts back then.
Yeah, I was managing him back then, and I said, look, because I'm having this celebrity birthday party, Mr. Lucas, I want you to be my guest. He couldn't say no because I was managing him. So
yeah, man, just come on, you with me anyway, just show up.
Yeah, with me anyway. And we had a couple celebrities come in, Tony Terry, a whole lot of them came in.
Yeah, I was there. I was actually present. I got to tell you, bro, you was fly that night, man. I was in coach the whole little day. I was like, well, man, that's what I'm talking about, I was like, hey.
Well, hey, man, what I like to do, I like to give people a chance to get dressed. That's why I had a gentleman's ball. My birthday was a gentleman's ball.
Right.
And you're gonna come out and be around me. I mean, we see these people who don't, this younger generation, wearing their pants off their behinds. Don't nobody want to see that. Let's have an event where classy women can be very classy and elegant women can be elegant, and come to a venue where they see clean-cut gentlemen who know how to dress, who have jobs, and know how to take care of a woman. That was the whole thing.
Well,
I was giving Atlanta something that they were missing.
Hey, but listen, look, they got me here now because I show them. Look, I know how to get down. Look, I learned.
I know that.
I don't know if you've been noticing. I got a little flavor.
Absolutely. Come on, man. Man, you came to my party, man. I said, look at man. Man is sharp.
Yeah, I get right. If you can see my wall over here, I got all the hats on the wall.
Look, man. Look, I already know you sharp.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the wall, man, what you got on that wall back there behind you, man? You already pointed out the Boys and Men joint. Tell us what we got back there.
Man, you got The Intruders, you got Dave Howitzer back there. You got a plaque that was given to me from Brian Grazer for the American Gangster movie, for the work that I've done with Frank Lucas. You just got a lot of, you know, other celebrities on my walls. I mean, just people I've worked with throughout time.
You know, it ain't no big thing. Just your life.
Yeah, they just hang on the wall, collect dust, man. They don't bring me no money. It's just they dust collectors.
You know what? But you know what? Nowadays they call that receipts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got receipts. Like, look, man, it's right there. But I've been there, done that. You
Right.
questioning me, it's there. Like, it's right there.
And you know, it's certified. It's certified through the industry. So when you hear these people, these naysayers, because I mean, we all have haters. Say, oh, he ain't done that. He ain't do this. He ain't do that. I ain't got to say what I've done. I ain't never got to say what I've done because you can see it. When I drive out here, you see what I'm driving. When I come
money. Right.
And you know, last month I was at an event, and a young man said, "How you doing, Mr. Burno?" I said, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" He said, "When I grow up, I want to be just like you." I said, "Be careful what you ask for." I said, "Be careful what you ask. You want to be yourself." I said, the key is stay grounded, remain humble, and trust in God. That's all you got to do. And things will fall into your lap. God will put you in places that doors will open up for you. I said, because you don't want some of the struggles I've had. I said, I don't talk about my struggles. I don't talk about the things I've been through, the haters that I had to go through. I don't talk about none of that, but it's there. Because I don't say it, it's there. Okay. You just have an overcomer of diversity.
You know what? And I'm gonna just keep doing this. Speaking of the hate, okay, you got a book coming out.
Definitely.
Right. So tell my people. You know, I got good segues. You know, I can go right on into it. But so you speaking of the hate and how people around you be hating, but you got a book coming out, and I love this title of your book. Tell them about your book.
Yes, my book is to reflect on the haterism that I've received. People think hate comes from enemies or strangers. Hate comes from the people who see you growing up achieving. Hate comes from people who are supposed to be friends. Hate comes from those people who are, I'm not going to say family members, I'm going to say relatives. What I mean by that, family loves you and supports you. Some relatives are family members, but you're just connected by blood. So my book reflects on certain mental illness that I've been around and people hating on me. And the name of my book is called Born My Brother, Raised My Nemesis. And you know, I have brothers in the martial arts. I was born with brothers biologically. I have brothers in the church. I have brothers in the Masonic organization. I have brothers that I can, brothers, and it is not honed in on just one brother. It's honed in on, I'm calling my brothers and sisters my brothers in growing up. So it's just talking about the mental illness that I've seen, the haterism that I've seen, the deliberate just cutting down the back, and the lying, and just all of that is encompassed in my book.
That's a lot right there. Uh, and you know, and just you know, like a lot of us can understand. Like I really get it. What I don't get is the hate. Like people don't, you know, celebrate other people's success. You know, and I know why, because you don't want to, you know, because you lazy and you gonna want, and you know, you just mad at me because I decided to get up off my ass and do something, or I made a decision to be something, or whatever, you know.
Man,
But
jealousy and envy, no other race but our own race are called crabs in the barrel. You know why? Because black people have a tendency to see other black people elevating, and they want to pull them down to walk on top of them so that they can be better and greater. You know, instead of me holding my hand down to lift my brother up,
get up on out
a lot of people want to hold their hand and pull the brother down. You know, my life has never been about that. You know, and they say birds of a feather flock together. That's somewhat true. You know, you don't see chickens and turkeys hanging around with eagles, brother. They're all birds. But see, that eagle's on different levels soaring, looking down on that chicken and that turkey.
See? And you know, and that's that thing, like, and you know, and just because we're talking about this, and like my whole thing for the new year was just move differently, you know. And this is so I'm gonna quote my man Nino, man. He said something. He was just like, stop changing. And he said, stop complaining about how people move. Just stop dealing with them. You know,
absolutely.
Stop. You know, like, hey, and it's like the simplest thing. Like, yeah, I just think, you know, why deal with people that don't do nothing but bring you frustration, pain, and anguish? You know,
brother.
You know, why have conversations with people that ain't? I don't want to say on your level, but you ain't on my level of thinking. Because if we ain't thinking about the same thing, then we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right.
If you ain't got nothing to do, nothing but got drama and gossip and all that stuff that don't enrich my life, you know, do nothing, fulfill me in no type of shape or form, or what are we talking about?
Right.
Especially being older, you know. If you kind of young, I can understand why you still might be having some of those conversations. But if you over 40, or if you a certain age, man, it just don't even make no sense. Like, what you doing with your life?
Right.
You know, you could change. You could get older and change. Like, man, I've been, you know, I seen the error of my ways or something, you know, and then I want to change. But I mean, man, it got to come some point in your life where you just got to want more for yourself.
ManDeleon, you said a mouthful right there, brother. I think there are certain people out here that the devil has designed to do nothing, to have no job, just to do nothing but hate on you.
That's their job. That is their job.
Hate sometimes. You know?
I mean, wake up in the morning like this. And
right,
it ain't got nothing good to say.
Man, you can block them on every social media. They'll make pirate social media accounts just to hate.
Yeah, all the time. Hey, it won't like nothing. They just trolling. They gonna like nothing.
You know, and they can know the truth, but spread hate and lies. You know,
that's one of my pet peeves right there.
Well, brother, what I start doing when people bring me a bone of what they heard, I say, okay, well, since you heard it, what did you say to defend me? When that person was talking about me and saying something negative about me, what did you say to either stop that person from talking, or what did you say to defend me?
Nothing. They joined in.
That's exactly right.
They joined in, and they had a bunch of stuff to say themselves, but then they only gonna tell what that person said.
Right.
I ain't gonna tell you what I said. I'm gonna tell you what that person said, because what I said was even funnier than what that person But
Man. Another thing I have coming up, I meant to mention this. I have there's a Men of Vocal show about to happen starting, I believe, in March. And it's comprised of Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson was the founding member of Boys and Men and lead singer of As Yet. Keith Robinson from Saints and Sinners. Is either going to be Stokely or Dave Hollister. You have Dyshawn Benson, Kenny Terry. They're both from the group As Yet. And they're going to go out touring, singing their own songs, as well as popular 90s songs from the groups Boys and Men, As Yet, Silk. Oh, and Little G is going to be part of that from Silk.
And then what they're going to be calling themselves?
Men of Vocals.
Men of Vocals.
Yeah, and yours truly is the road manager.
Okay, I was about to say, okay, how you a part of this?
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so you the road. So how many cities?
Well, they're getting I think they want to do 50 cities.
Okay.
And they're going to focus, I believe, after my conversation today, on HBCUs first. They want to go to the black colleges and universities so that, you know, Motown in the 90s was the best.
Then that's when it was. That was that time. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I got it, because that's when I didn't go to college, but I didn't go to college back then, but when I was in the service in the 90s, that's when I was down to Freaknik, and that's what Freaknik was
right.
Like college, you know, so 95, 96, I was there.
Yeah, so they want to bring this good music and love music back around. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that's what the world is missing. A lot of love, man. Yeah,
man, say it. Man, well, whenever they, you know, done with the colleges and they come to the A, I definitely want to check out that show.
Come on, man, you got it. You already know that.
I'm gonna be there, because you named some cats that I was like, oh yeah, them brothers be doing their thing, you know.
Yes, yes.
You know, them all legendary names in the game. So,
absolutely.
Hey, you know what? But I didn't want to leave out something, because when we was talking about Blue Magic and you know, the series that's about to come out, not only are you having the show, you actually have Blue Magic liquor.
Yes. Blue Magic will have a brandy, a tequila, and a vodka.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I'm working on. Look. Blue Magic is a brand on itself, and I just hit me today to get some T-shirts made. I support Blue Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know, my daughter turned 30 last week, January 7th, and I'm also coming out with a peach mango Moscato to honor her. Her favorite flavors are peach and mango, so I had a Moscato developed. And it's going to be called Lachey. That's her middle name.
Man, do that, man. Man, that's what I love that right there. Just
man.
I love stuff. I love stuff that got meaning behind it. Like, you know, if you ask somebody, like, it's more to the name. You know, it's more to it. Right. It's a meaning behind it. It's because of this. It's because of that. So that's definitely dope. So I know you're working on these. So I mean. How soon are we, you know, talking? I mean, I obviously think everything in the work. You got a lot of things going on, but like the end of the year, next year, like how soon on the liquor?
Well, the Blue Magic television series is going to come out first before any of the liquors, and I'm going to come out with the Blue Magic brandy first. Okay, because that was Mr. Lucas, one of his favorite drinks. Okay. So in honor of him, I want to come out with the television series first, and the brandy follow behind that. Okay. But on Mother's Day, I plan on launching the Lachey Peach Mango Moscato, because my daughter's a mother, and it will be just a great Mother's Day gift for dads and young men to purchase for their moms, for their daughters who are mothers, and female cousins and relatives.
Hey, like you said, you bringing it out on Mother's Day. It could actually become like that Mother's Day drink. Like, hey, you gotta get this moms on this on Mother's Day. You know, hey man, I know you can't afford that diamond ring or that post bracelet they be showing on the commercials around Mother's Day, but go on and get a nice bottle or something.
There you go. There you go.
Show with a nice bottle of this peach mango. You know, this peach mango and shake. You know.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that. I love that too, man. So man, listen, man, I definitely appreciate you you know, for having this interview and coming on my show and sharing all this all this.
I appreciate it. I'm humbled. Look, man, anything that I'm doing, whether it's in the industry or not, I'll keep you abreast, and I want ManDeleon's show to be a part of it.
Hey, I'm there.
Yeah. Thank you for your love and support,
tell
brother.
me where to be. Tell me what time and where to be.
Okay, you got it.
You know? But before we get out, I got one question for you. Out of all of your accomplishments, or out of all the titles or the accomplishments that you have, what is the one that you're most proud of?
I am most proud of being a dad and a grandfather, brother. You know, God gave me my most precious gem, my daughter, Alexis Lachey. And, you know, I have two handsome grandsons. To see your seed have seeds is the best and the most admiring title there is. You know, so, you know, celebrity bodyguard, that's great. Manager, great. Road manager, all that is great. All of that, you know, I appreciate all of that. But the best is being a dad and a father and a granddad and a grandfather.
Definitely. I knew you would say that because you I know because you're a family guy. You know, I'm just saying because you know, you're just good people. You know what I'm saying? And you're humble, and I know your family means something to you. And you know when we grow and we got good people in our life, whether if they're immediate family or whatever, you know, you got some good people. You know, we all need some type of mentors or somebody. You know, everybody needs somebody to talk to and just understand where they're coming from sometime.
Right.
But definitely, bro. It was definitely a pleasure having you on my show.
Oh man, humble blessings.
And look, and I'm truly honored. And then you know, much love and success to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, man.
All right. So, like I say, man, once again, we had a great celebrity bodyguard, personal manager. My man got so many titles. Right? But we got the great Lamar Burno. Man, thank you for coming on, man. My friend, we got good luck to you in the future. I know you got a bunch of great stuff coming up, man. And
oh man,
you know, just keep doing it.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And you know, like I said, chapters are being made as we speak.
All right. Hey, you heard it here first. All right. And that was my man, Lamar Burno. Man, hey, like I say, man, my man has done so much in the industry. He had done so much for so many people, and just be on the lookout for everything that he's got going on and what he's doing. This is the one and only ManDeleon, the Al Capone of the microphone. Much love and success. Y'all stay blessed. I'm out of here like a breeze through the trees, and when I'm gone, I'm taking all the leaves.
It's ManDeleon.
Straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser. Straight with no chaser. I'ma give it to you straight with no chaser.